80% of the league are free agents. Like, everyone timed their contracts. Everybody signed one-year deals, and everyone timed their contracts to coincide with this new CBA. So literally, there's not even really any teams. There's only like 20% of the league.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to stop whatever you are doing and listen to the absolute insanity of what was just confirmed on national television. We have been covering this WNBA collective bargaining disaster for weeks. We have talked about the greed, the jealousy, and the infighting, but ESPN's Ramona Shelburne just went on the Rich Eisen show and dropped a nuclear bomb that exposes the true level of chaos behind the scenes. This isn't just a labor dispute anymore, this is a hostage situation. 80% of the WNBA is currently unemployed. Let me repeat that, because it sounds too crazy to be true. 80% of the professional basketball players in the WNBA do not have a team right now. They coordinated this. They orchestrated a mass expiration of contracts to force the owner's hands, creating a scenario where the league literally does not have enough contracted players to put on a basketball game. It is a manufactured crisis, and it is pushing the sport to the absolute brink of destruction. If you thought the WNBPA posting Valentine's Day poems was embarrassing, wait until you hear the logistical nightmare they have intentionally created. Ramona Shelburne laid it all out. The Players Union told their members to sign one-year deals last season. They told them to bet on themselves. They told them, when the Caitlin Clark money comes in, we are all going to cash out at the exact same time. But here is the problem with playing a game of financial chicken. Eventually, somebody has to swerve. And right now, nobody is swerving. We have two brand new expansion teams in Toronto and Portland. Do you know how many players are on their rosters? 0. They are supposed to be having an expansion draft, a moment of celebration for the growth of women's basketball, but they can't do it because there is no collective bargaining agreement. You cannot draft players into a financial system that doesn't exist. You cannot sign free agents when the salary cap is completely unknown. The entire infrastructure of the WNBA has been frozen in ice by a union that is holding out for a fantasy payday. And this brings us to the most humiliating part of this entire interview. Ramona Shelburne revealed that the WNBA recently released their regular season schedule. Now, you might have seen that schedule drop and thought, oh, great, the season is definitely happening. Look, the Fever play the Liberty on April 25th. Do not be fooled. That schedule release was not a sign of progress. It was an act of absolute desperation. Shelburne called it a blink by the league, and the reason they had to blink is pathetic.
I think we're getting close here, Rich. I mean, I thought it was interesting the league put out a schedule, because one of the pressure points I had been hearing was literally arena dates. You know how this goes. Like, if you don't have your dates on the schedule, they give them away to some concert. They give them away to some circus that comes to town, or they give them away to anybody else who wants to use the arena. Arenas cannot have open dates. And if you want those open dates, you gotta lock those in. So the league went forward with the idea of let's do the schedule, even though we don't even know who's on what team. And I thought that was a blink.
Did you hear that? The WNBA had to release a fake schedule for teams that don't even have rosters yet, just to prevent their arenas from being booked by the circus. I am not making this up. The premier women's basketball league in the world, the league that houses Caitlin Clark, Aja Wilson, and Sabrina Ionescu, is actively competing with traveling clown shows and monster truck rallies for arena availability. And because the Players Union is dragging their feet, because Breanna Stewart and Nneka Ogwumike are demanding 30% of the gross revenue from a league that has lost money for 30 years, the owners had to panic publish a schedule just to keep the lights on in their own buildings. It is amateur hour on steroids. The union wants to be treated like the NBA. They want the private jets and the max contracts, but NBA arenas don't bump LeBron James for the Ringling Brothers. This is what happens when your ambition outpaces your reality. The players are demanding billion-dollar respect while operating a business that is still fighting for scraps. And that brings us to the elephant in the room, the one thing that actually matters in all of this. Rich Eisen, a veteran broadcaster who has seen every labor dispute in the history of modern sports, cut right through the noise and brought up the only reason anyone is paying attention to this league right now.
I don't mean to be flippant, but again, there's a golden goose that's getting more valuable here. And, you know, and stars, I mean, Juju Watkins is going to be healthy. Like, this is rubber meeting the road here.
The golden goose. Caitlin Clark. Rich Eisen said it perfectly. He knows that the union is playing a very dangerous game with the single greatest asset they have ever had. The golden goose is getting more valuable, and the WNBA players are actively trying to strangle it. Do you realize how fragile this momentum is? Caitlin Clark brought millions of new viewers to this sport. She brought sellout crowds, she brought a massive television deal, but those fans are not loyal to the shield of the WNBA. They are loyal to the player. If the WNBPA forces a lockout, if May rolls around and Caitlin Clark is not on television hitting logo threes, those fans will leave. They will go watch the NBA playoffs. They will go outside. They will find something else to do. And once you lose the casual American sports fan, it takes a miracle to get them back. The entitlement of the union leadership is staggering. They genuinely believe that the audience will wait for them. They think that if they delay the season to fight over revenue sharing, the fans will just sit patiently by the television until they finish their boardroom arguments. That is not how the entertainment business works. The window of cultural relevance is incredibly small. Right now, the WNBA is hot, but if you shut down the factory, the product gets cold. And yet you have veterans who have been in the league for a decade, who never drew a dime of profit, telling the media that they are the ones who grew the game. They are blinded by jealousy and greed, and they are using their 80% free agency stunt to hold Caitlin Clark's sophomore season hostage. Let's look at the timeline, because the clock is ticking faster than anyone wants to admit. Ramona Shelburne said the pressure point isn't today. The pressure point is March. We are currently staring down the barrel of March. In a matter of weeks, the league has to figure out the salary cap, hold an expansion draft for 2 entire cities, negotiate contracts for 80% of the players in the league, hold the collegiate draft, and open training camps. That is months of front office work crammed into a few weeks. It is physically impossible to do this smoothly at this point. Even if they sign a deal tomorrow, the chaos that will ensue in free agency will be unprecedented. You are going to have 100 players fighting for roster spots on the exact same day. You are going to have general managers scrambling to build chemistry with players they met 24 hours before training camp. The product on the floor in May is going to suffer because the union wanted to play hardball in February. And who is running this clown show? Ramona points out that Nneka Ogwumike, Brianna Stewart, and Nafisa Collier are the ones steering the ship. These are wealthy, established superstars. They have overseas money, they have endorsement deals, they have the unrivaled league supplementing their income. They can afford to miss a paycheck, they can afford to sit out a month. But what about the rookie trying to make the team? What about the bubble player whose entire annual income relies on a WNBA minimum contract? The leadership of this union is entirely disconnected from the financial reality of their own rank-and-file members. They are playing a billionaire's game of poker with other people's chips. Adam Silver sees this. We talked about his 11th hour warning. Silver knows that the union's leadership is driving the car off a cliff. He knows that if they don't get this done in March, the golden goose is dead. The television networks Disney, Amazon, NBC are not going to pay billions of dollars for a league that can't even guarantee its players will show up to work. If the union pushes this into a lockout, those networks have clauses in their contracts to renegotiate or walk away entirely. The players think they are fighting for a bigger piece of the pie, but they don't realize they are about to drop the pie on the floor. This entire situation is a masterclass in how to ruin a good thing. The WNBA was handed the lottery ticket of a lifetime in Caitlin Clark. All they had to do was cash it. All they had to do was sign a reasonable collective bargaining agreement, secure the massive salary increases the owners already offered, and play basketball. But ego got in the way. The veterans couldn't stomach the idea of playing under a financial system that was built by a rookie. They wanted to prove that they were the bosses, so they told 80% of the league to become free agents. They held the arenas hostage. They made the league look like a joke on national television. To the fans out there, you need to prepare yourselves for the very real possibility that the start of the 2026 season is going to be delayed, or worse, canceled. The rhetoric coming from the players is not softening, it is hardening. And the owners, backed by Adam Silver, are not going to cave to demands that would bankrupt their franchises. We are watching an unstoppable force of greed meet an immovable object of financial reality. If this season goes down in flames, remember who struck the match. It wasn't Caitlin Clark. It wasn't the fans. It was a union leadership that thought they were bigger than the game. A group of veterans who prioritized their own pride over the survival of the sport. The golden goose is sitting right there, waiting to lay the golden egg. But right now, the WNBPA is holding a knife to its throat. The blink has happened, the arenas are booked, the schedule is fake, the teams are empty. Welcome to the 11th hour of the WNBA, where the only thing guaranteed right now is absolute, unmitigated disaster.